Welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, September 12, 2017. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The national consultation among social partners was held here earlier today, discussing the various challenges of achieving strong and sustainable economic growth and how they can be overcome among member states of OECS sub-region. The consultation was attended by members of parliament, religious leaders and persons from other social organizations who came together to lend their voices in the important discussion. Nikita Tony tells us more in this report.
Part of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank ECCB initiative to come up with a plan of action to address growth, competitiveness and employment in the OECS sub-region, a national consultation on the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union's ECCU Growth Dialogue Action Plan was held here earlier today, Tuesday, September 12th. Keeping in mind that there must be a national outlook before the issue of economic growth is addressed at the regional level, today's discussion saw the participation of members of the government and opposition, religious leaders, social organizations, as well as youth representatives. Pointing out that the government of SVG is fully on board with the initiative, senior economist in the Ministry of Finance, Ken Morris, outlined the main objectives of the day's proceedings.
We would have been able to identify a national steering committee consisting of a local focal point and consisting of OECS officials, ECCB representatives, and representatives from the wide cross-section of civil entities that are present here today. We'd like to obtain consensus on some prioritized thematic areas that are in the document for implementation of the Growth Action Plan in a St. Vincent context.
Morris pointed out that the discussion will also seek to implement a schedule for the rolling out of the ECCU Growth Action Plan.
Because we don't want to be a pie in the sky. We like to have deliverables and timelines as to, when we're going to deliver these things and, and processes, clear processes. And there ought to be as well, before the completion of this exercise, the establishment of a monitoring mechanism to see, to track our progress.
Advisor at the ECCB, Daniel Otterton, in his remarks, said that the central bank does indeed play a role when it comes to achieving economic growth in the sub-region.
Well, according to our agreement, Article 43 and 44, we are supposed to facilitate balanced growth by whatever means consistent with our financial objectives. We have the firm belief that the components and deliverables must translate, for any growth or action plan, must translate into broad-based improvements in the general living standards that touch all citizens rather than a fortunate few.
Otterton further charged the gathering to become fully committed to national transformation as they now serve as a delivery unit which must deliver.
This 52-page document which we have circulated and the 4 thematic areas that we have outlined so far, I look forward to having, some healthy and respectful exchanges of ideas and a willingness to serve on what we are calling the delivery unit, because we have moved away from this business of steering committee, because when you have steering committee, everybody wants to hold the wheel, and so then you don't get any steering.
Today's dialogue is expected to not only aid in the enhancement of economic growth nationally and regionally, but also play a role in achieving national development here in SVG. Nikita Tony reporting for SVG-TV News.
Former opposition leader Annim Eustace is again advocating the need to focus on agriculture, particularly bananas. Eustace, who was speaking on Nights Radio on Monday, said that the neighboring island of St. Lucia has already exported 20,000 tons for 2017, while this country has exported little or nothing. The opposition MP is of the view that bananas can make a significant difference in the country's economy by providing employment for persons.
Not much is being done in relation to the revival of agriculture, and particularly the banana industry. Some of these persons were gainfully employed, independently employed in looking after their own business in agriculture. Now they're paying poor relief. We're not ashamed. The government is not ashamed of that. Is that something to boast about? These are people who live their own lives for years and years, 50 odd years. We have been able to maintain their families, build homes, make sure the children have the requirements of schooling because of that same banana industry. We had awards from St. Lucia a couple of weeks ago that they expect to be at 20,000 tons for 2017. St. Vincent will be at 0 in terms of the external market for 2017 if the present trend continues.
Expressing concern with the number of persons on poor relief or receiving government financial assistance, Eustace said that the small number of bananas being exported to Trinidad is unstable, since Suriname may soon again be exporting bananas to that country.
That's the reality that we are facing, you know. So you build up poor relief. They should not be in that position in the first case. They should be gainfully employed, running their own banana business, banana fields, exporting their bananas, and what are the other crops they're involved in. You saw the fiasco with the root a couple of weeks ago. So nothing is happening in these areas. Just imagine, St. Vincent produced 26% of the Winter Islands bananas. No, St. Vincent is not a producer of bananas for export outside the region. We send some to Trinidad, and even that we are having trouble with now, because Suriname is now back in the Trinidad market at better quality.
Stakeholders from across various sectors here are being encouraged to do their utmost in protecting the health of the Vincentian public. This encouragement comes from representative from the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, Anique Wilson, as she spoke at the opening of a two-day workshop here addressing the issue of food safety. Representatives from the Ministry of Agriculture, the Public Health Department and Fisheries are taking part in the workshop, and Wilson stated that such organizations stand between the public and foodborne diseases and encourage all to be bold in executing their duties.
We depend on you, and we know that you are doing a good job, and we want to congratulate you for the work that you're doing, but to say to you to continue to do a good job. Be outspoken. You're going to meet persons who are out there who would figure that you are bothering them and that you're coming to bombard their business, but be outspoken. Where there's wrong, you say you're not practicing good food safety measures. Remind them of the Public Health Act and the laws that govern the protection of the public as it relates to food safety. Today, I am going to close. I'm going to be very brief, but I'm going to close by wishing this meeting all the best and to say to you, our health is our wealth, and our health is in your hands as it relates to public health and food safety. So do your job and do it well. I thank you.
Also addressing the workshop's opening ceremony was Executive Director of the Bureau of Standards, Ezra Ledger, who stated that the main objective of the institution is to ensure a good quality of life for all Vincentians by ensuring all goods provided meet a consistent standard and quality. Ledger added that the Bureau is elated at the opportunity to partner with institutions such as the Public Health Department in order to ensure the continued safety of the public.
Providing a range of microbiological and chemical testing in order to support its conformity assessment program. This program ensures that all goods, including food, traded in SVG conform to national standards as it pertains to processing, quality, packaging, label, etc. Finally, I must commend the Public Health Department, Environmental Health Division, and the PAHO for the convening and realizing this vital workshop on food safety. Accordingly, the Bureau of Standards is pleased to be collaborating with the Public Health Department in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Environment on this very essential activity, and the SVGBS remains committed to assisting in whatever way possible to promote quality and safe food in SVG. I'm optimistic that the output of this initiative will contribute significantly to food safety in the future of St. Vincent and Grenadines, and I therefore take this opportunity to wish the facilitators, and the participants a very productive and successful workshop. And I look forward to enjoying better quality and safer food in the near future. Thank you and God bless.
Encouraging the public health officers to be unafraid in carrying out their duties was former Chief Environment Health Officer Rupert Doyle, who stated that public health officers can make full use of the legal framework if they are met with opposition in the execution of their duties.
Don't be afraid to execute the legal system that we have. Sometimes we complain and say that there are no regulation, but I tell you the support structure is out there. And sometimes we can call on legal entities to assist us in the preparation of any legal step that we need. Okay? So it's very important that we get it right. Don't go out there because we are environmental health officers and we are protected, and go out there with your arms or your guard down. Please be prepared. And when you're prepared, there's nothing. I show the system in place will back you 100%. Once you do things according to law and according to the promotion of health and safety, generally speaking, that all of us will benefit. Even you who are executing the duty have to come back and eat. So all of us as consumers will be proud of ourselves if we do a very good job.
And the National Stakeholders Meeting was held here recently in order to sensitize the youth on issues surrounding the Adolescent Action Plan for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The consultation was hosted by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO. Speaking on the topic was Dr. Sheila Campbell-Forrester, who praised the government for its initiative and highlighted areas which are necessary for the plan's success.
Well, you know, I first have to congratulate the country. It's not every country that has an adolescent health policy. So that's a big start. However, we now have to work to ensure the implementation of the plans. Right? Once we have finished the plan of action, the implementation, and there's a key area that needs to be addressed in the policy. There's a coordinating mechanism, and it is important that that be institutionalized so that it can offer the direction to the adolescent programs and ensure that they are executed and on time.
Dr. Forrester added that in general the participation of the youth has been good, with various segments having a fairly good understanding on the issue at hand.
There's a mix, because we have a mixed group. The reviews from yesterday were very good because I think they learned quite a bit. They were getting a different perspective, and of course this is the first time that they would have seen that the country has a policy and plan of action. So that was new for them. It's also new for some because we have different age groups that are here. So there are some who are more aware of what the concerns and issues are and are in leadership positions, which is very good, whereas some are new to the whole business of adolescent health. But it's a good group, and they came up this morning with their vision statement, and yesterday they were very good at enumerating what they thought were the priority issues that should be addressed.
Family and Community Coordinator PAHO, Darlene Omer Taylor, stated that it is the hope that the results of the consultation will lead to the signing of a memorandum of understanding, as well as the rolling out of various programs as further assist the youth in their development.
Okay, the following steps would be, at this point, once we have the document well-developed draft, we'll do another consultation to ensure all the stakeholders are agreeing with this plan. And the next step would hope that all the stakeholders involved would be having some sort of signing agreement of this document, have it launched, and then have the steering committee set up which would be the committee in charge of rolling out the whole activities agreed in this action plan. So that's what we're hoping for, to, at least have it finished this year and then have the activities rolling out next year.
Murder, firearm offense, aggravated burglary, assault, attempted murder, and abduction are the 6 charges which former media practitioner Junior Jarvis is facing and which were read out in court today at the start of a preliminary inquiry into the killing of banker Randy Lawrence. SVG-TV's Sharon Garway was in court today and files this report.
4 witnesses testified today, Tuesday 12, 2017, at the start of the preliminary inquiry at the Serious Offences Court into the shooting death of former banker Randy Lawrence, who was originally from Connery but was living at Arnesvale at the time of his death. Lawrence, who held a managerial post at the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, was gunned down on Valentine's Day, February 14, 2017, in the Arnesvale area. Former media practitioner Junior Jarvis was arrested and charged with his murder. The court earlier today heard as the first witness an adult female who testified that she saw Lawrence leaving his home around 7 that fateful morning and went back to continue her devotions. She told the court that she heard gunshots but had no idea where they came from. The female witness then stated that she received a call from the Kingstown General Hospital pertaining to the deceased, and she later identified his body and signed papers to carry out a post-mortem. Second on the witness stand was a middle-aged male who testified that around 4:45 a.m. to 5:50 a.m. on February 14, 2017, he left his home at Arnesvale and saw what appeared to be a silver vehicle, PQ993, allegedly belonging to the accused, leading down to the entrance on the grass at the Arnesvale playing field. He said that he was unable to determine if there were any occupants, but he proceeded to his usual exercise routine. The middle-aged witness stated that he returned around 6:40 a.m. on foot and saw the vehicle still there. He said upon returning to his neighborhood, he was walking briskly and he saw the accused Junior Jarvis standing close to a corner of a wall fence with a bag over his shoulder. He stated that he shouted at Jarvis, "Man, where your car dey? Like something wrong with it?" He stated that he did not stop to chat with the accused who was standing behind the wall and who had mumbled something back at him which he did not understand. The third person to take the stand was an adult male who is a resident of Arnesvale, who told the courtroom that from his upper floor residence he heard doors slamming and what sounded like a gunshot, but thought that the 2 female occupants downstairs were trying to get a rodent from their house. He said some minutes later he heard what appeared to be another loud explosion, and one of the female occupants ran up to his top floor wearing only a sheet and told him that Jarvis was holding the other female hostage and had fired a shot at her. It was then that he called the Caliqua police, who later arrived and found no one on the lower floor. The fourth and last witness to give evidence today was a middle-aged woman of Arnesvale who testified that the deceased lived above her and she was awakened by gunshots in the area around 6:55 a.m. She said that she later saw police on the scene taking a person into the vehicle. All 4 witnesses were cross-examined by prosecutor Adolphus Delplesh and lawyer for the accused, Israel Bruce. The preliminary inquiry into the shooting death of Randy Lawrence continues tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the Serious Offences Court. Sharon Garway reporting for SVG Television News.
Over 4,000 EC dollars was raised by the Good Hearts Foundation at a charity event which was held at Heritage Square last Saturday to help victims of Hurricane Irma. A number of Vincentians, including Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, came out to support the event and donated cash, food, clothing, water, and other items to the cause. One of the founding members, Rodney Small, said the one-year-old foundation, which was established by a number of local artists and business persons after the North Windward floods, aims to use its influence to give back to those in need.
A group of foundation, we see it that, we are our brother's keepers, and we never know when St. Vincent or any one of us in the organization would need a support or some help. And, we understand that no man is an island and no man stand alone. So instead of us, as I said, as a group of entertainers and business professionals, instead of us always taking, we decide that, at some point in time we need to start giving back and being more influential or good Samaritans. And I will encourage a lot more people, to help somebody, to help an organization, help a group, because as Rihanna once said, you don't have to be rich to help someone, right?
Small said food, water and money are mainly in demand in the hurricane-ravaged islands. He said they will be hosting another event at the Treasury Building from 6 p.m. this Thursday.
Just about $4,000, but then we got a lot of other items in terms of clothing and food stuff and water and juice, And then obviously on Thursday, we're going to continue that drive because there are a lot of persons who have been calling and messaging us saying that they didn't get to make it on Saturday. So we decided to come together on Thursday with some other partners to really continue this drive, and we are focusing mainly on collecting food stuff, water, and some monetary donation because, we have been in conversation with persons who are affected in these countries, and these are some of the main things that they really want.
Government has already sent off cash, food items and other supplies to assist with the recovery efforts. Meanwhile, an official government delegation comprising Minister of Foreign Affairs Camila Gonzalez, Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar, and 3 technicians is expected to visit several of the hurricane-affected islands to meet nationals of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to better structure further recovery assistance. Meantime, the South Central Windward Producers Cooperative will be collecting names of skilled construction workers who wish to volunteer or be employed in the reconstruction efforts in Anguilla, Barbuda, BVI, and USVI. Persons are asked to bring along a valid passport for interview at the San Souci Learning Resource Center from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Wednesday the 13th to Friday the 15th of September. A news release issued today further stated that persons with family members in the BVI and other affected islands who are incapacitated in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma wishing to obtain information on possible assistance for returning to St. Vincent and the Grenadines can do so by calling the following number: 1-784-434-4955. That's 1-784-434-4955. And the vessel will leave Port Kingstown on Friday, September 15, 2017, to take food and emergency supplies to the British Virgin Islands. On the way, it will stop in St. Lucia. Persons interested in sending supplies to their families and friends are asked to drop them off at the NEMO headquarters That's NEMO headquarters with proper labeling by 3 p.m. Thursday, the 14th September. NEMO will then take these supplies to the boat. There will be no charge for the transportation of these supplies to the BVI. All packages must be properly labeled. No meats or life plants will be permitted. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force is the recipient of 5 Toyota Argo motor cars donated by the Moon Space Company Limited out of Malaysia. The new Southeast Asian conglomerate, Moonspace, will hand over the vehicles to the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force at a ceremony to be held at 3 p.m. on Friday, the 15th September. The representative from Moonspace, Stanley Tu, is expected to be there to participate in the event. Mr. Tu is the Chief of Strategic Corporate Planning of Moonspace. He first visited St. Vincent and the Grenadines in October 2016 on a fact-finding mission as one of destinations selected on a list of Caribbean states for a targeted new investment. According to a news release from the Police Public Relations Department, Mr. Tu subsequently visited at least 4 more times since then to undertake investment due diligence and learn more about the state on the ground. The release further states that one of the issues the investor heard about in various media is the need for more vehicles to support the motor patrol services at various police stations throughout the state. The Police Public Department is of the view that the vehicles will enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of policing in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.